Hello, and welcome to Fraternizing with the Fey. You do the next bit.
Our Fey Earth campaign edition of Talks Around the Teapot, which is our bonus show where we sit around and talk about the most recent episodes of our current campaign.
If it looks like we're getting more and more delirious as every talk goes
We
on.
are.
This is day 2 of filming.
For anyone not aware, we filmed this campaign in a supposedly 1 week, but more like 2-day intensive.
Yes.
And it's
We're
been
going
great.
mental,
Yes.
but it is
But we
so
are
good.
insane.
It is so good.
I don't know what's real anymore.
I am struggling to separate Rhea from Robert at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And, I think that's unhealthy for me.
Probably. But it's a whole lot of fun.
It is. It is.
It's really reminding me of like that first week of filming that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was like all 4 of us again.
Yeah,
Where we were just
that
like
was
all
good.
day, every day for a week straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to know what to do with myself when we stop.
No.
Oh god, I'm gonna crash.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to work on the home game, to be honest. So that's
Nice.
what I'll do,
Yeah.
I've got some ideas.
I'm going to play with my puppy.
Okay.
But to talk about the last 2 episodes,
I don't remember.
where did it start?
Yeah.
It started with us going to go our separate ways because you guys were going to True.
Oh god,
Yeah,
did
you-
it start with the locate person?
Yeah, it started with the
stuff?
locate person stuff.
Oh my god!
That was, yeah.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
It does.
Yeah, that-
Oh my god.
We are packing an insane amount of stuff into each hour and a half, 2 hours.
Feels like
So much is happening in
so
each episode.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens in a game when your characters do stuff.
Do you know how many times this has been said to us?
And every time Rio agrees with me.
Every time I laugh.
We
yeah.
I would
get it.
argue that Rosalind is most famous for doing one thing, but fine. Everyone was mad at me when I did that. So you guys are being really shady. You
Yeah.
came up with some sort of nonsense plan and then ran off and then
Absolute
waited for us and then
bonkers.
ran off again.
Like,
The plan was
Right.
fine.
Okay, in my defence,
I didn't know the plan.
no, I did know the plan. I thought Robert was coming with me.
Absolutely. Well, that was the original plan, but very much like once I saw how much you didn't want me there,
Because you
Sorry.
were convinced that you were being scried on.
I was fully convinced. And quite frankly, can you blame me?
No, it turned out to be actually much worse.
Much worse. Yeah, but that's for later.
Yeah. I didn't want them coming to my house, which they did in the end, so
Yeah.
I never
You know-
approached. I never approached scrying distance of the house. So like in my mind, Robert was being like, "Fine, they don't want me there. I understand I'm being scryed. I gave you all the information to try and like."
You gave me that.
I think that talk about blacksmithing knowledge and the spider.
Pythons.
Yes.
Pythons.
Pythons. It's. I mean, you know, the method could have been
Scrying
better.
knowledge and
Yeah.
goblin notes. I think as you'd had the whole discussion, and then you said write it down, and Rhea wrote down the bullet point.
Yeah, because I'm not going to write down every single thing, because I can't.
Did you
do
want
that.
a word for word script?
No, I just wanted. I didn't know. Like, knowledge. So I asked her what she knew, and she said nothing, so.
Yeah, but like, infer more. You know? Yeah.
I messed it up. Okay,
But for saying, but you coming across as like the rizziest, like
No.
I'm really cool and everyone knows about me.
That's his ploy.
the more I know about Bardo, the more I'm like,
But
oh,
I'm
he
just
just
like-
talked shit. Like, he's actually
Yes.
not.
But I'm just like, how? Because it so often doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like if you've worked on jobs with people,
Yeah.
how have you kept this reputation?
In my defence, I haven't been rolling dice for all the other jobs.
So that is an excellent point.
I also just think every other team Bardo works on is more competent than these 3.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we've been pretty.
I mean, we've worked a few times together.
Yeah.
But I think that's because we're working together.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah.
what you're saying is Bardo works with really competent people and then takes all the credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, did you not remember what happened on the very first job we did as a group?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
guys did all the work. And
Yeah.
the credit was taken from.
Yeah.
By us. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
didn't realise the extent of it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Bardo had some skills.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
And they do. They're just not paying
They
the
hit
moment.
people with their cane.
That is sometimes good, yeah.
Yeah.
That is good. That was good.
It was really interesting because I was like, yeah, I gave you all like the notes and the goblins. I was like, yeah, just kind of like, just talk to them about it. Like, you know, lean into like just be not like you're the nice one. Like you're the
And
nicest.
I was nice.
It very much felt like an interrogation. It felt like you were accusing her of something. And like that
Yeah.
It
was
sort of felt like you were a police officer.
Yeah. It felt
And like she
that
was
for
being
sure.
questioned about a crime.
Yeah, and very much in my mind it's like you just go there because she's a known good blacksmith, and like if there's any like information that she could possibly provide.
You know
That'd
when
be
you like
great.
lead people into like talking more?
Bardo was just like,
I messed it up. Okay. That's my excuse. I messed up the situation.
Quite frankly, it was entertaining. Like
watching
it was
you
so
react
good.
to it, but Robert not knowing what was going on was really
yeah,
funny.
I was like,
Watching you as Rio lose.
Rio broke the pen
I broke a pencil. I fully
because
yeah.
of me. Not
Is
because
that
of those
when you
two.
broke the pen?
That was,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
100%,
funny.
yeah. That was full.
I like to think that after I went back to the pub and like, yeah, I messed it up and told you what happened. That's when the pencil got broken.
Yeah.
but
But I
that's-
do like the idea of Robert sat there being like,
They
oh,
fucked it up.
they fucked it up.
something feels wrong.
There is a disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't matter. You guys still got like the scrying information, which
We already
Robert's-
had before you showed up at the door.
Yeah.
Because we said we were
Because
going to
we just
do that.
asked.
Yeah, but it's very much a case of like in
I
Robert's
don't really know
mind-
what the plan was.
I don't really know why Robert thought we wouldn't get that information.
Just because in Robert's mind,
We're
you're-
not that stupid.
Yeah, but it wasn't a stupidity thing. It was more of like your priority is right now. You can find the sister, and like me being spied on wouldn't be on the top of your list of priorities. It's very much Robert being distrustful. It's very the fact that like Robert like didn't trust you with
Yeah.
this like one thing, and he trusts Bardo on this like finding this information
because
more.
they're best friends.
They are pals.
Besties.
I've said pals.
Pals is an upgrade from associates
Yeah.
and colleagues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know. But it's fine, we still got the information anyway.
Yeah.
And then you just joined me in the pub.
Yeah.
And we just waited for you two
Yeah.
to thing and, you know, found your sister location.
We did.
We did.
And then we got up to some tomfoolery.
And then we were birds.
The
Again.
fucking falcon.
Well, the plan with the birds was to escape. But then we flew there.
You pretended to be a falcon breaking
Breaking
a
a
nut
nut.
on a windowsill.
It worked. Is all I can say.
It worked with what?
Your telepathy worked.
Yeah, your telepathy
Yeah.
worked. That just got people like, is
Bird
that a
was
falcon
just
with a nut?
nonsense.
Yeah, but they didn't shoot me. They didn't think that it was me. They didn't come out guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
Really, they just thought, that's fucking weird for a falcon to be breaking a nut open. What a weird falcon. Why is it in London?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine. You eventually like because it was just very much a case of like once like you guys like you saw your sister, it was very much we were like, all right, what's the plan? And you were just like, sister. Okay, and
I'm not the plan person.
but like I didn't like it was very much a case of like, okay, what do you want from this? And yeah, exactly. It's like we can't make a plan without like knowing what you want.
Yeah, but she's built up to that moment for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then it happened and she was like, well, I'd only worked this far.
Yeah, I like that she'd never planned what she was going to do or say.
Well, yeah.
But Sybil did come out and was willing to talk and like be open
Yeah.
and listen.
I was so intrigued on what it was and why it was that Sybil was going to have left because I was really like, here, do whatever you want. And I was really waiting for her to be the enemy. But then I was like, no, that's too predictable. She's not going to be the enemy. And then I was
Yeah.
like, but maybe that's predictable and it's a
No,
reverse.
I went on that cycle for a bit earlier. I was like, wait, is it a double bluff?
But But no, she was just sad
Yeah.
and decided to not talk to me about it. And that's just sort of, they're just like, fine now. They're just like, oh, well, we're back together again. That's lovely. We'll be pals again.
Pals.
Pals.
We're pals.
Yeah.
People die for. They're falling down the stairs.
They're falling down the stairs.
Was it?
Old people.
It was the same like afternoon that we all went like as a collective
Yeah,
to Trudy's.
because it was after that you were like, oh well, let's just go to the goblin then and sort it
Yeah.
out, because like what else?
Oh
was
yeah, and then that was mental.
you went mental.
You
Yeah.
went insane.
It was another one
Again.
of those situations, fully because it was like, all right, I have a plan, and like the only person that needs to be involved in this plan is Robert. And then everyone was like, oh, we'll come along. And it's like, okay, fine. And then every time I tried to have the conversation, it's like, well, that's a bad idea. Shut up! Shut up! Well, you shouldn't be doing that. Please stop this. But, you know, I think it went well. It's like very much the plan was like, I just need to know whether he's the one scrying on me.
Yeah.
That's truly what it was. Because like the handkerchief was needed for something. And, you know, it was like, it very much felt like pulling teeth. But like,
Yeah.
I felt a bit like I was stuck in a time loop.
Oh yeah.
And like I was going, like I felt Robert's insanity.
No, honestly.
like it's one of those
I
things.
think we were all in
Yeah.
Robert's head at that point.
Yeah.
It was like every 5 questions we got one answer,
Yeah.
which is fine. But for the first 4 questions, it's a arse pain, and then we get to the 5th one. It's like, all right, okay, we're making progress,
Yeah.
and then it felt like we were going back a bit. And then the trade was made, which is fine.
I mean, we did find out who was after you,
Exactly, and
which I guess was good.
yeah. And you got the.
I don't know how much of a difference it made.
I think it very much made. I think it did make a difference.
Yeah.
Because when Robert thought it was Aldous, it was very much a case of like, well, fuck this goblin, fuck you, whoever you are, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he found out that it was the Wolf of Whitechapel, it was a case of, oh no, I'm in so much danger
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I am actually like this is.
You are.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like it's very much. It was like very quickly. Robert like was just like, oh, I'm a dead man. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
I stole from a goblin.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't be prouder of you. Could
Yeah,
not
that
be
was
prouder
so
of you.
slay.
Could not
That
be
was
prouder
so
of you.
good.
If there was any opportunity for you to do that, it's definitely the moment when.
Corrupted.
If there was any chance for you to do that, it was definitely the moment where I was trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
But I was just sort of like, well, we can't really get in any deeper than this.
Yeah. It's already too late.
Maybe this will protect my friend.
and we just definitely can't go to that shop again,
No.
No.
which is fine. There's another one. Big up Lloyd.
Oh, I love Lloyd. He's the best.
Yeah. But I was really the whole time like... That was mental. I was well proud. I was so scared of it going wrong. I was really like...
No, you rolled so well.
yeah.
It was so lucky.
It was very
Yeah,
good.
that was... Ooh.
That was good.
No, it was very good. Very once we left and you revealed it, it was like
Mm.
as Robert, I was just like, good.
Yeah.
I was really proud of you.
Yeah, that was so good. And maybe it did buy us some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
It's yeah.
They
I mean,
did still show up that same night.
Yeah.
At least I
But,
can't be scried upon.
No.
yeah.
But I do feel like sniffing you out takes longer than like
yeah, 100%.
customs, but I don't know how much.
Like, maybe
they
that's
would
what
have
got
had.
us the time, because that's when we all went back to wait for Sybil at Trudy's.
Yeah.
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 Maybe it was the fact that I was just there for like there for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's,
But- Then we had a really epic battle.
Uh,
We did.
yeah, it started off with.
I am obsessed with this battle. It was so good.
I think I've won the game again.
I agree.
It was so good.
Yeah, what was everyone's like mindset at the like once we took the first round of like damage, Like, what
I
was
was
your...
like, we're dead.
Yeah, no, it's very much a case of, like, I was like, okay, if maybe they are just after me, like, and
I
like,
never thought that. I was like, we're going to be fighting them, so they're going to kill us. I was like, they're going to kill anyone who's in their way and anybody who's helping you.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was either going to be you, me, or Trudy that died, and we would have to like.
I mean, immediately as soon as like Robert hadn't
Yeah.
like Robert doesn't know like how powerful your aunt is.
Yeah.
So it's very much a case of like, oh, you have to lead. Like you have to leave.
No, it
Gertrude.
did
You
make
have
me
to,
giggle
like,
when you said that, because I was like, she's more powerful than you.
100%. Like it was like you have to
Like,
leave.
she's tougher than you.
It was like you have to leave. Oh no. Oh.
Okay.
Stay, Gertrude.
She's actually the toughest person outside at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I was.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
without question.
Yeah.
Several levels higher than you now.
Yeah.
And witches are just really badass.
Witches are so good. I love the witch class. It's so fun. I love playing witch.
Do you know what
So
did
good.
really save our ass, actually? Was the fact that I can now cast
Yeah,
be
as a
shaped
minor
as a minor.
action.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
that's what
Wouldn't
did
have happened
it.
otherwise, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, it would have taken 4 rounds to turn them all.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to cast any healing if I was doing that.
No.
Yeah.
There's 2 nat 20s that I just made.
That
I
was
think
so
tough.
sad.
That was
Because those
tragic.
were because you hit with all 4
All
rolls
4 and 2 of them
Yeah.
were nat 20s.
and you used your re-roll.
That was so sad.
But it's fine, I guess. No, it's fine because then you got a nat 20 and then you used your spell, which just immediately does like.
I love
Yeah, that's such a good
Popping
spell.
that was so good.
fucking. That was so good.
Yeah.
That is such a good spell. I am obsessed with it.
Because
It's
when it
so
started, it was like it does
good.
1 damage, and I was like, okay, and what else does it do? And then like it explained, it does like.
Really awful thought.
Oh.
Well, the bodies are still in your bag, so we could like pelt them and make coats out of them.
That is
That-
the least luck thought you've ever had. What
I
the
know.
fuck?
I was very
That's
much.
Talia
yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
I was just. I mean, my
Pimp
mind.
coat.
Pimp go. No, because she wanted one. Fun fact for anybody who watches Demons and Daughters, if you found us through Fey Earth, go watch Demons and Daughters. Maijai's character Talia had the thought process at one
There's
point
a dead bear rug, and I could steal
from a man that she hates.
I could steal the rug and see if I could get it made into a coat.
Talia wanted a pimp coat, but she did not get one.
Anyway.
But anyway, that was a Talia thought. That was the least luck thought you've ever had. That was horrible, actually.
Yeah. Not very
The
vegan
fact they're
of me.
still in my bag is
Well,
quite
that's
funny.
what I was thinking about,
Yeah.
because I was then thinking about you pulling out the bones because you were talking about bones, and then I was like,
Well,
oh
I
no,
have to
they're
skin and
dead
clean them.
bodies.
Like, those are corpses.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, it's like at some point, if we have to like, brag, it's like we can just pull out the
Oh, I
leader's
just
body.
whip
Pull
out
out the
the
leader's like.
wolf.
Well, this is what led me to, because I was like, oh, we could cut off the head, and then I was like, oh no, you could wear them.
What the fuck?
That's insane.
Do you want to know what's so funny?
Yeah.
Like, I just think the fact that I, as Sylvie, roll to see the likelihood of random crap being in my bag, the likelihood is 100% that I have the dead body of the Wolf of Whitechapel in my bag at all times. I'm just like, oh, this will be useful.
How much does that bag
So
hold?
good. Fucking loads.
At least 4
it's-
levels.
It's 20 cubic meters
Jesus.
or. Sorry, apologies. There we go.
The best side.
20 cubic meters or 5,000 kilograms. So a lot.
Yeah.
That's 5 tons.
Yeah, a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. When I say Sylvie's got so much crap in there, that said, she does kind of want to get the bodies out because she is worried they're going to start decomposing
No,
and like
100%.
ruining her stuff.
100%.
But there's no air.
No,
Yeah, that's true. That is
So I
true.
think actually they'd stayed perfect.
there is no air, so that means there is no bacteria inside the goblin
That's
purse.
true.
And it's just
I didn't
like
think
Cause
about that.
decomposition.
Just
That is better.
Luck
Four
would know that.
suffocated to death.
That is better.
Maybe we should. Oh no, that's because then the blood will get everywhere. But like maybe if we get them out and then like shoot them all in the head, it looks like we like killed them in combat. Instead of like, how did they die?
I think this is even better.
No, I agree. But
Yeah.
but we jumped ahead because what
Sorry.
actually happened in the battle was we all landed some pretty solid hits. Trudy slayed because she was the best.
She did,
But
because she is.
The wolves,
But you know
were
who was actually
regenerative.
Yeah.
And then Luck did the best thing that a druid can do. I
From a
think.
window out the top. Hello!
True envy. Because when the first one got turned into a sloth, I was like, oh, brilliant, I only have to deal with one, turn into a sloth. Okay, great, I'll help you turn into a sloth.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that one was the last one because it was confused.
Oh, yeah, okay. Help you, and then could see, like, oh, turn into a sloth. And then it was just truly like, well, what do we do with 4 sloths?
It was the idea of the sloth the sloth that did grapple
Yeah.
you is so funny.
Get off.
No, it was the one nat 20 that you got on the sloth and
Yeah.
then that being cancelled was the best
That was
moment.
good.
Yeah. Because my whole thing was, well, they're arboreal creatures. They will try to climb up your body to grapple so they can do a bite attack. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So
But it's still a
No.
fucking sloth.
What did they have, like, -5?
I was giving them a -5 to every attack
so you
because
have-
it's a sloth.
You'd have to get like a nat 20. 'cause,
Basically,
like, it's
I needed a nat 20
Yeah.
to land a hit.
And then it was just like.
And then you got it.
And then it was cancelled with Witch's Shield.
good. Have you ever had a battle be won by turning all the enemies into
No,
sloths before?
never, ever, at all.
Is that something you ever thought about when you made
No,
Fey Earth?
I did not.
But you thought about somebody turning the enemies into something.
No?
What do you mean, no? That's such a...
I also can't believe after that we had to convince you it was okay to kill these sloths. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
they
they're not
weren't
sloths.
actively
They're not
attacking
real,
us
they're not
anyway.
real.
They're not real, they're not sloths. They're like not sloths.
Which is very mirroring of our home game, actually.
Yeah, no, very much so. It was like, they're not, like, the discussion was happening, meanwhile, just slowly.
No, that killed me.
And it was just slowly like,
That absolutely destroyed
it's
me.
completely fine.
For anyone who may be listening and not watching, during that whole conversation, Taya started with our hands right next to each other and very slowly just started opening them like she was opening the bag. And she ended up with her arms wide open. And it was the funniest thing.
Oh, that's good.
And it took me so long to notice what you were doing. Like, you're already a good, like, shoulder width
Wow.
apart before I realised what you were doing.
I really like that you guys just started putting the sloths in. Like, we didn't even, like, have a conversation with
No.
them. Like, we all just did it. We were like, nah, they're going in the bag.
Like, because it's like, they'll turn back and then they'll hunt us again, and I don't want to fight.
It was the easiest solution. And it was the only solution I could really think of.
Like, it starts off with, like, maybe put them in a box and chuck the box in the Thames.
Yeah.
Oh, well, where are we going to find a box big enough? And then it was Trudy who was like, the bag. I think it was Trudy who said
I
that.
think I actually suggested
I think it was Luke actually suggested it, yeah.
Oh, you suggested it, and as soon as it became like a possibility, a real tear came down your face. It was like, it's fine, look, they're not sloths, it's completely fine.
It was Bardo just going, they're not real. They're not real.
It's giving Michael's manner. It's giving Bobby being like, the cards are on the
Oh my
floor.
god, stop. That was good. And then we all went out for a nice drink because Robert, for the first time in his life, was like happy, free, feeling the exhilaration of being alive. You thought you were gonna die.
I mean, yeah, he, like, not the first time in his life, but his first time
In a
like,
long
in
time,
London. Like,
yeah.
in London, definitely. Yeah, because it's just like, I felt it was just a very weird realization of just kind of being like, oh, in my mind, I was a dead man.
Yeah.
I'm not a dead man. That sounds like a celebration to me.
Yeah.
And it's like the most dangerous people in London. Yeah, very much like an invincible feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what else I love? That's now the second time that we've ended up being like, there's a battle coming, and then in like a couple of rounds, it's just been like, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what
But, like, in
that's
such
how
an
I
odd way.
always thought it would go, having you on the team. Like, that is what I would have expected, like, our battles to be.
Yeah.
Knowing who Luck was as a character.
How many druids have you DM'd then?
You're the second player I've had. I've had druid NPCs in my game. You're the second player. My wife is currently playing a druid as well,
Yeah.
who could not be more different to Luck if you tried.
She sounds badass.
She's suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder because her wife
Oh, yeah.
was literally burnt alive on top of her body when they were fighting an army of Fey and an ancient dragon appeared, breathing its flames on the entire regiment, and her wife threw herself on her body
Oh my god.
to protect her and was incinerated.
Wow.
Yes,
So go watch that because it's amazing and it's gay. And if you're here
So
from
gay.
our stuff,
no,
then
this
you're
is true.
gonna like
That's
their
true.
stuff.
And also, it's like, if
So
this
gay.
is too chaotic for you and you want more Fey Earth content, if you've come from Demons and Daughters because, you know...
You needed a break.
You know, that's fair. But yeah, go watch the main Fey Earth campaign.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
we all went out for drinks.
I just think it's such a simple solution to stop the fighting.
It
Just
is.
make them something that can't fight. My only worry was that they were going to know how it would work and they were going to like actively do damage to themselves.
Yeah.
Which is why I was trying to think of something that wasn't like a mouse with one grip point where they could just like run really hard at a wall.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that's something that they would do. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think a sloth could damage itself that much.
Because it would take it too long.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I think a sloth was a really good choice.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway. Then we celebrated.
We did.
In the pub with us for your sister.
And your auntie.
And your
Yeah,
auntie.
that was nice.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an like never.
You guys
I
stayed
never-
out drinking all night as expected.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Now, of course, it was a night for celebrations. That's how he wants to celebrate.
Yeah.
And you know, that's
I'm intrigued by Simon.
Yeah, we got a bit of Robert backstory revealed
I mean, Bardo got
to
a bit
Bardo.
of,
Yeah.
Bardo got a bit of Robert backstory.
Because I didn't know. I knew about Scotland. I didn't know about a friend in Scotland.
I'm interested by this friend.
Yeah.
This friend. Yeah. Oh well.
It's really quite sad, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like there's like when I was playing, I kind of understood why like Robert was mad at Luck, but like when that realization came to me, it was like that's why it's like self like anger.
Yeah,
like, it's-
projected. Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
like projected.
It was weird though, because one, Luck isn't even Fae.
no, exactly.
And two, if you're mad at Fae, but you're friends with me.
yeah,
So
well,
it's
It's
like-
more about the inaction.
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
That's the
It's-
big thing.
Yeah.
it was like the I could have done something if I paid more
Which
attention.
also makes me laugh because Bardo doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but Bardo just gives off the impression that they do.
Do you know what was fucking brutal of you, actually? Was Robert being like, I don't want to talk about it. And you being like, he's dead,
Yeah.
isn't
yeah,
he?
sorry about
It's because of you,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Bardo was actually.
That was awful. I was
Yeah.
sat there and I was like, Bardo?
Why are you doing that?
I wanted him to open up.
Yeah, but like,
But like for him, he was opening up.
I guess.
But
that was brutal.
That was.
Sorry about that.
That's alright, you forced information out of him. That's
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't reflect negatively into your friendship.
Not at all.
no, because now you're having the reverse of when
Friendship.
Seth was like, Agatha, do you think your father is evil?
Yeah.
In like episode 4. So there you go. Now roles have been reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it was nice to reveal something.
You know what other roles were reversed?
What?
You're nat 20s.
That was good. But yeah. And you found out that the hole is full of water.
It's full of water.
Very much.
Oh,
full of
yeah.
water. Yeah.
I love that William is just like, I've got something new to tell you.
It's like
so good.
and like sometimes it's like not even useful. Like it's I mean, you know, a lot of the time it's helpful. But like sometimes it's definitely like come up to you, ask for information, and you give us information about something that we caused, and it's just kind of like that is
Yeah, that's
Wild.
so
Most of the time it's like
fascinating.
you really could just look at a newspaper.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's truly like, but it's like, why would I buy a newspaper? When
Yeah,
you're just gonna
exactly.
tell
Yeah,
me?
exactly. When newspapers cost money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I already sink enough money into this place, so
Yeah.
You do.
do.
I think you
You fund this.
you two
establishment.
If you-
single-handedly
if-
keep this place in
If
business.
you died,
yeah,
they're
there's
going out of business.
I mean,
Literally.
they're still relatively busy, but I'm definitely one of the like like one of the most consistent customers.
Yeah, and I'm always there as well.
And you're always there, so like,
Yeah.
by second hand.
I
And,
wonder, did we like whose pub was it first? Because before we knew each
I mean,
other.
how long have you been? in
I
London?
suppose I've been in London for longer than you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I've been in London for a fair few years.
Yeah, I've been there for a couple, like about
Yeah.
4-ish years maybe.
Yeah, I've been there longer than
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So it's definitely like your pub.
I'm interested in where you came from, if you're not from London.
Maybe that's why you can't swim.
Because in my head I was like, you can't swim because you're from London. But if you're not from London...
No, I know. I just remember because on Fey Earth, like you have to learn to swim unless you have like the swimming feet.
Yes.
And I actively chose
Not
not
to
to
take
take the
it.
swimming feet.
Despite the fact that your Fey lineage is a type of
Water.
marine Fey.
Yeah. I can't remember my reasoning behind that.
Was it just that it's
It's
funny?
funny.
It might have been.
I can't remember either.
I feel like that's probably
I
what
just
it was.
remember you were trying to get me to pick swimming, and I was like,
It was a logical choice.
and I said no.
That's
Yes.
so funny.
Because that is the thing in my game, is that because it's set in the 19th century, in the 19th century, no one knew how to swim.
Yeah.
It was an exceptionally rare skill.
Yeah.
Like even people in the Navy didn't know how to swim.
People who worked on the water actively did not learn how to swim.
What?
Because all you're doing is delaying your death when you fall in. You're basically, you fall in. If you're a fisherman and you're out at sea and you go overboard, you're dead. You're fucked. So if you
Get back on your boat though.
if you're at sea, you're not getting back on the boat.
To have been knocked off the boat.
Yeah, you're not getting back on the boat. So they actually, fishermen, dock workers, sailors, deliberately did not learn how to swim. It was a very rare thing.
Stop speaking about people going overboard in the sea.
Okay, sorry.
It's actually really funny because in my own campaign, like very early on in campaign 2, one of the players, she was playing the fighter in the party who's really, really small. And they were fighting this Undine, a siren type creature who was sitting on a rock in the middle of this wide flowing river. And she fights with a halberd. And because she trains to fight against giants. And she's like, I dive into the river to go for it. And I was like, do you swim? What do you mean, do I swim? Does it say in your character sheet that you have the swimming skill? No. But how deep's the river? 2 meters. How tall's Mina? About 153. Straight under. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing
so
ever.
funny.
Yeah,
That
so
is
happy birthday, Raven! I can't swim. Yeah, I can't swim even despite my lineage. I have webbed feet though.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
good. Maybe
So-
you take...
I can't remember if we said you had webbed feet or hands. I think you said you wanted the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was feet you chose, yeah.
It's easier to steal stuff with in between fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because there was a conversation
Yeah,
in the
about
game
duck
about duck
feet.
feet and ducks wearing shoes.
Yeah.
And
I
you
like
have
that you
webbed
stayed
feet.
quiet. You were like,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
to
you
it.
have webbed feet.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
That is
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Robert who said I don't think you can wear shoes with feet or something.
Yeah, I think it was,
Well,
yeah.
you said I don't think you can wear shoes with duck feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless, canonically, Robert's never seen Bardo's feet.
And
Because why
Robert
would
hasn't.
they?
Robert hasn't fully. Robert has no idea you have webbed feet.
No.
That's really funny.
Does Robert even know what Bardo is? Like,
Why would no? Not really.
Why would
just-
Robert care, really?
Yeah.
Like,
it's very much a case
Like,
of.
he
I mean,
knows that they're Fey and
Yeah, they know your fey
Fey touch,
touch
yeah,
because
that's
it's
it, like-
you always will know when you see somebody their fey touch. There's always some physical identifying
Yeah,
characteristic that they're fey lineage.
And we spoke about our backstory, and like that's the only that's the only reason why like Robert doesn't care.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's fun. But then you guys came along during our
your,
distressing
your
conversation.
deep, upsetting
Distressing
backstory.
morning.
Morning!
Hello!
I think that was the first time Robert was like, "It's good to hear their voices because that means this conversation doesn't have to happen."
Cute.
Mm.
Do you know what was really cute? Robert giving Luck the hand.
Yeah, that was really
That's probably a
cute.
disgusting piece of
Oh,
fabric.
dude, do not open it. Do
No.
not open it.
But it really...
But it's lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That was
so
really
sweet.
cute. Did you like your vine gun?
Yeah, it's in my pocket with the pebble and the acorn, so
You've got a nice collection going on there.
Nice.
Yeah. And then in my other pocket, I've got
And
my
all the
goblin
carrots.
notes. Yeah, I've got 3 pockets. In one pocket is the gun, the acorn, and the pebble, and the other pocket is like the spider piston and all the goblin notes. And in that pocket is my carrots.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've got the goblin notes currently.
Oh yeah, okay. So the goblin notes
Goblin
are out.
notes.
So I just got the spider pistons
Yeah.
in the other pocket.
Nice.
And then us lot and your sister went to.
Went to the pond at Hyde Park.
yeah. And we saw
A,
something.
a dragon? Question mark.
A dragon?
Sea dragon? Question mark.
No, I'm really scared because all Neil talks about is that these dragons are not the regular dragons and these are real dragons and
Yeah.
they're terrifying and they're all poisonous. Actually, that's good for me.
Yeah, poison's good for you.
I think.
Poison's good.
I think the goblin's fucking with us. I think there's.
I don't think we're gonna have to fight the dragon.
Yeah.
I think the dragon
I
is
think
like the thing. I don't know.
If the dragon wanted to fight us, it would have there and then, surely.
The dragon obviously knew it was just going into that water. That was for it, and
I
it went
just
in
don't
there.
know why.
I want to know,
It's so
why would the
random.
goblin want?
Why?
How long has it been since anybody's seen a dragon?
So this is the thing. There are different types of dragons.
Yeah.
And in the southern parts of England around Surrey, there's a type of dragon called a nooker. And they're named after a type of freshwater pond that is found in forests that's called a nooker pond or a nooker pool. But then the more classic style of dragon that people think of, say George and the likes, no one has seen one of them for like over 500 years.
Yeah.
However, recently there was a war between the Fey nation of Arcadia and the nations of Prussia and France. And Arcadia won the war. Everybody was expecting the Fey to win the war because the Fey always win wars again. Humans don't fight the Fey because you will die.
Yeah.
You know, you're fighting an army and their cavalry are centaur.
Yeah.
Their heavy infantry are ogres.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't fight the Fey.
Yeah.
Now, at the start of that war, they actually were inflicting casualties on the Fey because they've got the newest rifles and artillery, you know? But then the Fey adapted their tactics, and on the last day of the battle, the Fey attacked with this devastating inferno. Like, 90% of the French and Prussian forces were incinerated. And people were saying that they unleashed ancient magics, but the handful of soldiers who did survive have sworn that they saw dragons on the field. And people are saying, obviously, dragons are gone. I haven't seen a dragon in 5 centuries. But these soldiers, the handful that survived, said, no, there were dragons on the field. The dragons have returned.
Right. But this isn't one of those dragons.
You can give me a Phalor roll.
To pond.
Yeah.
So.
So I'm thinking it's one of those ones that are always around Surrey. Whatever you say.
Yeah.
And nothing bad.
Never
ever come
heard
from
of.
Surrey.
Never heard of a nooker.
That's from English folklore. Yes.
Nice.
I just think it's there to scare people and fuck with people. Because
Yeah.
I enjoy that
goblin.
everybody ran away and all of us were just like,
That was good. We have no survival instinct.
None whatsoever.
getting in that pond.
No.
no,
Yeah, your first question was, what's the fastest fish that I could turn into?
What are those like little black ones?
The minnow?
Sure.
The like tiny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnow.
I just think you're gonna get eaten.
Jonathan the minnow.
What?
But if I turn into a fish, is that going to be bad
No,
for you?
just go ahead for it. Go
I
ahead.
think it'll be bad.
We
for
just
luck.
won't describe it.
Yeah, but it'll be the same level of fish as Millie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Like.
just think it's bad for luck to do that. 'Cause, like, what if you just get?
How
eaten?
good is their eyesight, actually?
Fish?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's
don't think it's
exceptionally
great.
like, I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's amazing either.
Maybe I
have-
can think of a lizard,
I
actually.
have the feat salmon's leap. What is that again?
So the salmon's leap feat, that's a dex-based feat. It has nothing to do with water.
Oh, okay.
Okay, basically when you're attempting to a dex roll to avoid injury from a spell or a similar area of effect type threat,
Yeah.
if you succeed the dex test by an amount equal to the feat cost, you know, blah, 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 you don't take any damage at all.
okay.
And you also move yourself a distance equal to your movement and gain a +5 advantage on your next attack.
Right. Okay.
You are literally leaping completely out of danger, moving yourself into an advantageous position for your next attack. Nothing to do with salmon. It actually comes from Irish mythology. It was like a special move that Cú Chulainn, one of our great heroes, was said to be able to do. It was the salmon leap, where he would leap over his enemies in battle while like stabbing them.
That's
Very
very cool.
nice.
That's where it comes from.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Going back to the episodes before this one, we've already had a talks.
Yes.
But the cape of
Valkyrie's Mantle of Wonderment, yeah?
That's the one. If it slows you down, does that mean
It doesn't
that it's easier for
actually
people
slow
to
you
hit?
down. You just look like you're
just look
moving in
cool.
slow motion. Literally, the entirety of that magic item is that when women wear it and they find themselves in some sort of a combat situation, they look cool. That's all. I mean, it gives you do get a bonus. It's a negligible bonus to a +1 bonus to persuasion to rouse your allies, and a +1 bonus to intimidation against enemies
Nice.
that you are fighting whilst wearing the cape.
Right.
But that's all it does.
Yeah.
It just like sparkles and
It's
makes you look
just-
cool.
That's
So-
what I thought.
Yeah, I thought so.
I created that for my first campaign, okay? I had this really wonderful NPC. His name was Alpheus Steiner, dressmaker extraordinaire.
You've told me about
Yeah.
him, I think, on Twitter because
Yeah.
I was like, Rosalind would love this person.
Oh yes, he would. So
Yeah.
his background was that he's originally from Vienna, and he was a trained sorcerer and an adventurer. For years, him and his buddies going out, adventuring, fighting Fey, getting treasures and magical items, and he eventually retired to pursue his true passion, which is dressmaking. And he makes fabulous gowns for ladies of high society, but all of his gowns, he uses his sorcerer's abilities to enchant them. So that they have so you might have a gown that's this beautiful, a beautiful, say, pink, and there's embroidered butterflies on it. And as you're waltzing around the dance floor, the butterflies are flying on the dress.
That's some Hunger Games shit.
Yeah. So that's
Girl.
and
On
he
fire.
created this mantle of wonderment for my wife's character, who is this badass gunslinger, who ended up getting the official title of Hero of Tara because she took on an elven warrior prince in single-handed combat.
Nice.
Yeah. And this was it was really funny because this was one of those times where I rolled terrible in this fight. Shockingly bad. This guy had, I think, a +16 to hit.
Whoa.
And could attack up to, I think it was 9 times in a turn.
Jesus.
If I rolled well enough. And I wasn't rolling above a 3 for the entire fight. It was shocking.
Wow.
So my wife's character beat him in combat and won because of that. Okay, you won, so we're gonna back down. Everything's cool between the humans and the elves in Ireland now, and she got the official title from the High Queen of Ireland, Champion of Tara.
Wow.
So Alpheus made her this Valkyrie's Mantle of Wonderment for the
That's
champion.
so
Yeah,
cool.
so that's what that was.
Big fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really did enjoy just asking for things and seeing what things you knew and could come up with because I know that you're not just coming up with them on the spot. I was really
Moonstone I made up on the spot.
yeah, but
Because I was
Yeah.
Most of the other things are stuff that's in the system. The Moonstone's okay, here, this.
Yeah.
but I really just enjoyed hearing all of the things.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was fun.
It was so
That was
good.
fun.
But there's a dragon.
There is a dragon
Yeah.
in the water.
We also found out, sorry, I forgot to discuss this. We found out that, for certain, Aldous hired the Lost Ones and not a situation of, the Lost Ones
Yeah.
approached Aldous for the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, very much, confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
because It's,
They are working for him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the stuff they're doing is for him. That has been 100% confirmed now.
100% confirmed now, and that's, so, Aldous is big evil, small evil, little goblin.
We don't know if he's evil.
He's
He's a slimy little man.
he's a capitalist venture who steals memories
that's
and
true.
sells dodgy products.
But that is where we left off, was staring at a pond in Hyde Park that contains a dragon.
How good are newts at looking?
I just don't think you should get in.
I just think that that's
I
inevitable.
agree, but
No, I agree it's inevitable, but it's a bad idea.
I agree, but also it'll be cool.
The beginning of the episode. Alright, luck gets eaten.
no, literally scared.
I won't get eaten.
I think you have just as much chance of getting eaten as you do as not getting eaten
Yeah,
as soon as you go
at
in
this
that water.
point.
Can I breathe underwater?
I'll need to check your character sheet. I don't know if you can.
Also, if you can't
At a
swim-
higher level, you definitely can.
Okay.
But I don't.
That's it, you're just dropped to the
You
bottom.
just sit
But
there.
with your Fey lineage, at a higher level, I'm like 99.9% certain you do gain water breathing.
Okay.
But I don't think you have got it yet.
Okay, can I talk underwater?
No.
Okay.
You can't swim.
You're
No,
saying-
I was thinking that if I had like
sit
a
there.
rope tied around me, so you
Oh, I
could
do
pull me out.
have like 10 meters of rope, so
Yeah, I don't know.
What if
that
we
won't be the
just-
whole thing. But
What if
I
we
get
just
you.
tie me up and then you can whoop? Like
Like a
You can
fishing
get-
rod.
You can get the thing is it's 10 meters and like I'm pretty sure he said it was like 80.
Is
Oh, yeah, that's
the
good.
pit is 80 meters
Yeah.
deep, so the pond is 80 meters deep.
Wow.
So unless I can get 7 more of
So
those ropes.
like,
I need to get something. I need to turn into something that can see in the dark.
A bat.
Underwater.
maybe you just don't get
Anglerfish.
Or maybe you don't need to
I
get
don't
in
like
an
anglerfish,
enclosed
though. No.
space. Of
anglerfish are marine; they're not freshwater, and
Oh,
also
very
they
true.
live at the bottom of the ocean, so it wouldn't survive
They're like
in that
eating
pressure.
fat, Yeah.
Pressure's not strong enough for a creature like that.
Well, it seems like we can't come up with a solution, so it's best you just don't get in.
I mean,
Maybe
I
I'll just be a
guess
frog.
we'll see what happens. I'm scared of what you might be.
Alright, favourite moment. Favourite
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Oh god. Putting the slots in the
Yeah,
bag.
that's
Putting
what I was
the
gonna
slots.
say.
I can see it I can very much see it in my head, just like you slowly opening it, and then Robert like going, "No, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay."
And
then
I
you,
was holding like
It's not real.
I
It's
was
not
holding
real.
the front paws so they couldn't grab on.
in my head, you had the cane and were like, no, like pushing.
Oh
the
my
paws.
god, so
Like,
funny!
yeah, no, it's fine. It's actually fine. Don't worry about it. They're not real. They're not real.
I also just really enjoyed because every time it went from the wolves to me, so every time Neil was like, "Yeah, this is great. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm killing you. What do you want to do?"
That was good.
That's my second favourite.
Yeah.
Favourite moment?
The conversation with Aldous
Oh, that was
was
good.
that
so
was
much
really
fun.
good.
I love it when I get the chance to roleplay a Fey creature,
Yeah.
particularly Fey like goblins and fairies that are known for being really tricky and
Monsters.
cunning, because that was a great conversation that we had where I never once lied
Yeah.
at all in that conversation.
Yeah.
But all of you are like, "You duplicitous fucking bastard. We can't trust a word that's coming out of your mouth."
It's very much a case of like I need to get. Robert was like, I need to get every single word right, and I
Yeah.
need to confirm every. Single word
That
correct.
was so much fun because
Oh,
it was
that's good.
great. Because like, nope, he like 100% is not lying about anything
Yeah.
at all, but still kind of fucked you
Yeah,
over
still
in
fucking
that.
with me. It's
Oh,
like
he still
a-
fucked
I'm
you
like,
over in
because
that
I could
trade.
see like the smile the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
time. It's like I know you're getting in there, but I'm still I'm getting it right.
So that was definitely my
Really
favorite.
good.
My favourite was Yeah, see, I know exactly what you mean. That's basically a yes. That was so good.
That was good. They fall down the stairs like old people.
I didn't even say
No,
like.
it's just
You just said old people.
I'm saying old people are falling down the stairs.
oh god.
Closing thoughts.
I'm scared, but I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts.
I love sharing interesting bits of folklore with people.
It's
This
so
is
good.
so fun.
It's
I'm
so good.
teaching English people about English folklore.
Yeah.
I hope
I just
that...
want a book of like I want you to put all of it into a book and it'll be my bedtime book and I'll just read.
There is going to be a book at the end of 2025. My core rule book is going to be published.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope that I haven't ruined mine and Robert's friendship.
Aw.
You pushed it.
Yeah.
You pushed
There's a
it.
line.
There's a line. And you put a foot over it.
You were so lucky I didn't burst out laughing.
Why would you have burst out?
Because it's
laughing?
Bardo.
Bardo laughs maniacally.
It's one of those things. If that happened, you would have turned up to the pub and it would have been just Bardo.
Yeah.
I don't know where Robert would have gone. But Robert would have just left.
No, because you know what else it was? It was Robert being like, okay, well, I'm gonna get up and leave.
And then I follow.
Yeah, because it's like Robert has multiple times been like, I'm removing myself from the situation, which we spoke about in our last Fraternizing with the Fey. And I was like, okay, everybody knows when Robert walks off, give him a bit of space.
Yeah.
And then you leave. And then it was, well, I'm just going to get up and follow him. Bardo!
Wherever these two don't leave each other's side.
No, you don't leave
no,
my
yeah,
side.
yeah, there we
Like,
go.
it's whereas you don't leave Robert's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait
Anyway.
to keep going.
Yeah.
It's all I want, actually. Come back next week. Give us a like and a follow if you like it.
yeah.
Give Fey Earth a follow because they're cool.
And yeah.
Thanks to
Thanks
all the
for
patrons. Thanks for watching. Submissive and subscribable.
Bye.
Bye.
For any of the Fey Earth followers,
Oh, yeah,
they're
we
gonna be
never-
so